that are Olympic standards. The biggest swimming arena in the whole of West Africa is being constructed in Ghana and under this dispensation. And so a lot is happening in terms of Olympic opportunities for young people. But are we out of the woods? Definitely not. And that is why we need to amplify the voices of the young people, even in asking for more, because like the young people, in terms of we have to be like Oliver Twist. We should always ask for more. Are we out of the woods? But let me assure you that speaking for the voices of the party that I belong to, and I recognize my friends from the Butterfly Enclave. They are here. Madam Chair, let me just share a joke that compared to the elephant, the Butterfly Leagues for the longest the Butterfly has lived is 2 weeks. I belong to, and the longest I recognize my friends. The elephant has lived is about 60 years, and so we can wish our brothers and sisters well. But it's good to see you. I want to invite all political parties and organizations to make reference to this document. I know that I will play some role in the development of the manifesto in terms of the youth of our country. I should do that. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority of the ruling party. So if the ruling party puts together a team to discuss young people, and I'm not onboarded, I think that will be an oversight, and we are not known to oversee. I mean, I believe that I will be involved, and I can make a pledge to the people who worked on this document that it will be one of our important reference documents as we discuss the manifesto of the new patriotic party. Probably maybe get even the leadership of the party to engage with the young persons themselves. I'm sure you can articulate the issues better. I can be blinded by my own biases and my own preferences, but probably if you afford you the opportunity to amplify the issues themselves, then the next president of the Republic, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, can listen directly to you himself and hear from you directly. We'll be looking forward to engaging with you. We thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you for your remarks. Nothing for the youth without the youth. And he has also called on all of you here, young people, to fashion out the solutions that you seek. So remember that. And he has also pledged to use this document as one of the important working documents for pushing youth development and sustainability. So we will hold you to that, and we thank you very much. Now, we would also want to invite Mrs. Atuluk, representative and gender focal person for the Ministry of Youth and Sports, to give her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the CEO has said most of the things, because they are the implementing wings of the ministry. But I just want to say that the minister would have loved to be here. Yesterday, I wasn't in the office. I was at a meeting. So he called me personally that there's an invitation, so I should come and represent him. And that he would have loved to be here. So I send his apologies. So from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, our main role is to develop policies. And the CEO will attest to the fact that we really played a bigger role in coming up with the youth policy. So the youth policy, as he said, it sets the framework for all youth activities. And one of the pillars, that's why I said I was so happy about the manifesto, is the active engagement of the youth in decision making. We want you to participate We want you to be involved. We want you to make decisions and come up with solutions. So the ministry, our doors are open. We want to engage you on the manifesto. And as the CEO, who is the implementing wing of the ministry, has said, he's going to make sure that most, if not all, of the issues that you've raised in the manifesto will reflect in the political party that he belongs to. I'm a technocrat, so that's what I have to say. So the political party that he belongs to. And as a policy formulator too, if I'm in any platform to formulate any policy, I also promise that I'll make sure that most of your issues, because the issues are clearly stated, will be part of such policies, and we will together will see the youth of Ghana achieve their full potentials. Thank you very much.
And we will together with the youth of Ghana, together. Thank you very much. And now I would also like to invite Dr. Lusigi, UNDP resident representative, to give her special remarks. A round of applause, please.
Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. Chair and Representative of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mrs. Francesca Atuluk, the CEO of the National Youth Authority, Honorable Pius Hajide, my brother, our Queen, Tungte Dahmani, the winner of Ghana's Most Beautiful 2020, distinguished invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Is it still morning? Yes, it's still morning. Good morning. So let me begin by congratulating the youth of Ghana on this important initiative on youth participation in governance and elections. I think we can all agree that we need more meaningful and full participation of youth today to keep Ghana's democracy strong. And we should all work together to achieve this goal. And from the diversity of people that I see in this room, it means that we all share this desire. We also know from the recent population census, as was mentioned, that young persons aged 18 to 35 are at least 1/3 of Ghana's population. And this means that engaging youth in all development initiatives is key. And as UNDP, we have prioritized youth engagement and empowerment in all of our programming. We have put youth and women at the center of our work, including supporting youth in decision-making and in leadership positions. We have even gone a step further and set up a youth sounding board in order to influence how we develop, assess, and implement all our programs. And this group of young activists across our program areas, that's inclusive growth, accountable governance, climate resilient and environmentally sustainable structural transformation, are offering their expertise and advice to ensure that youth perspectives are included in all of our programs and projects. And this is very much in line with the National Youth Policy that has been mentioned, because it indicates that youth participation must be deliberate and conscious enough to ensure that young people are not only represented, but are contributing to real discussions, agreeing to resolutions, and taking actions leading to outcomes that benefit them and society at large. And this is from Ghana's National Youth Policy. So this youth manifesto that is being launched today is timely. As we've heard, on the 19th December, just a few days ago, Ghana held its district level elections. We would have wished to see more young persons taking advantage of this opportunity to get involved at the grassroots as both candidates and voters. I'm not going to ask everybody to raise their hand if they took part in the elections, but you know yourselves. We do, however, take note that there are significant financial and social barriers to youth participation in leadership and decision-making. And this could explain the fact that despite the fact that Ghana's voter population is youthful, very few youth contest and even fewer are selected. For instance, only 12 youth out of the 155 who contested in the 2020 general elections are part of the 8th Parliament of the Fourth Republic. And this represents only 4.36% of parliamentarians. And it's even declined from the 13 youth, which is 4.75%, who won in parliamentary elections in 2016. So ladies and gentlemen, we need to do more to support youth participation in elections. And to do that, we need better data. We need to have confirmed statistics of the age profile of those who contest at all elections in Ghana. And this is not always readily available. And this should also include disaggregated by gender. We also need to know people who are living with disabilities who are also contesting, so we can be able to monitor the situation and support. How can we support youth to participate in decision-making if we don't have more accurate data of the current situation? And we need to have this data in order to advocate and engage with political parties for an increased youth engagement and representation. Another area of concern that was reflected in the Afrobarometer and other studies is an indication that youth in Ghana are increasingly disengaged, and fewer youth are interested in leadership and elections. And from UNDP's research on the drivers of extremism in Ghana and in Africa as a whole, it is clear that creating a youth-inclusive and functional democracy from the local to national level is an essential factor in creating a prosperous and peaceful society. And this is why meaningful engagement of youth, both male and female, in the upcoming elections is a great opportunity for Ghana. The Ghana Youth Manifesto and similar initiatives are important for advancing youth participation as both candidates and voters. Beyond this, it is also important to ensure that the concerns of youth, and I've seen that reflected around the room, education, disability inclusion, health, employment, jobs, good governance, peace and security, are captured in political parties' manifestos, but also their upcoming development strategy. UNDP is part of the UN family in Ghana, and with our partners, we remain committed to investing in empowering young people to be the voice of hope in society and communities across Ghana. We consider youth as a key stakeholder in development, particularly their role in preventing conflicts and promoting peace in Ghana. They deserve a seat at the table and a voice where decisions are made. For the UN in Ghana, meaningful participation does not only happen on election day. Youth must be involved in the everyday decisions on the economy, social and natural resource governance, and they must be treated as equals. This launch signifies an important step, and we must follow through by supporting youth as allies and agents of development at local, regional, and national levels. I encourage the youth who are present here today not to wait to be invited to the table. Be bold, take the initiative to contribute to leadership and decision-making. Take a keen interest in the development of your local community and the country. Be active in the implementation of this Ghana Youth Manifesto. Take a stand and prevent the spread of hate speech and disinformation. Be an active citizen by acting and speaking out on issues that matter to you in your everyday life starting today. In conclusion, I wish to assure you of UNDP's continued support for youth empowerment and engagement. We believe in the transformative power of youth to shape the future that we all want for Ghana and for the world. And as we continue our march towards the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, we will work to champion youth voices and representation in partnership with the government, CSOs, private sector, development partners, and other international organizations. I wish us all a successful launch, as well as speed and scale in the implementation of this ambitious agenda. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lusigi. Thank you for reminding us that youth participation should be deliberate and conscious enough. Thank you for reminding us that the youth must be involved in everyday decisions and they should be treated as equals. And thank you for encouraging and urging us to be bold and to actively participate. Now, our last remark will be taken from a political party. Youth Movement for Change. And I would invite a rep to just give us a brief remark. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning, Senior. And we're excited to be here. We're excited to be here. The Honorable Alan John Kodoche Martin, who sent me here, brings his greetings and warm regards. I had the opportunity of briefing him yesterday about an invitation to be part of this. And I think a few weeks ago, we had the report validation as well, where I shared the outcome with him. He's excited about it. But even more importantly, he is pleased to know that the most important issue for the young people of this country is about jobs, skills development, as well as justice and good governance. And so these are three key things that he has championed throughout his space and time in public life. The movement for change is committed to those. We are very excited that there is a document that captures exactly those so that he will interact with you personally. So this is an invitation, and as and when your leaders are ready, kindly let us know, and we'll make the necessary arrangement for you to present it personally and directly to him. But Youth Manifesto, why is it important? It is absolutely important because many a times our elders assume to know for us. But if public policy the past 30 years is anything to go by, if the conduct of our leaders, and importantly, the two leading parties of this country, the New Patriotic Party and the NDC is anything to go by, then it means that they do not understand us. They don't know the things that matter to us. And even when we tell them it's not a priority for them, the evidence of it is in the conduct of government. I'm excited to hear of some interventions, but one would ask, my senior, whom until recently we were both in the same party, was talking about the youth centers. The Stadium Plus started around 2018. If it is taken from 2018 to now, 5 years plus, to put up a simple 5,000-seater stadium, that clearly is not a priority for you. And so for us, we want safe spaces. We as young people want to know that you are prioritized, and that priority is not in speech, but in conduct. In conduct. And I think that is what the commitment to put up the Youth Manifesto speaks to, that we want to work with people, but we want to tell you what matters to us. And we want to see you commit in conduct to those things that do matter to us. So the butterfly, this one that has lived for 3 months and counting, and will live for a much longer period, says that we are very excited, we are glad, and for our bosses from the UNDP and from the ministry, we are glad to see you here with us. Except to say that the young people of this country, for the first time, want to fly, and to fly with the butterfly. Thank you.
And he has spoken like a true politician. But as moderator, I would like to remind us that the reason we invited Movement for Change, the NDC, the MPP, and 2 other political parties was that we could engage political parties, not one political party. The reason we have political parties is so that we can bounce off ideas from each other and learn. So the Ghana Youth Manifesto is not to one, but it's to all. And so let us be reminded of that. Thank you. However, other political party reps are not here yet, and so we would like to continue. Actually, Honorable Hajide spoke on behalf of the MPP, so we will take that as one.
I'm not speaking on behalf, I spoke on behalf of the NYA.
NYA. Okay.
Now I'm speaking as NBP.
Okay, now he's speaking as MPP. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Great. Now, the main reason we are all here, the launch of the Ghana Youth Manifesto. Please, a round of applause. Yes. Now the energy has to come more. Thank you very much. We have chosen an ambassador to do the launch for us. You've been wondering, why is that pretty lady sitting? She's ready for you. She's ready for me. And so I would introduce the Queen again for all those who went here early. Ghana's most beautiful winner 2022, the Queen Tunteya Dahamani. She has been chosen as the ambassador of our Youth Manifesto. And we decided that it should be launched by a youth, somebody who has the influence to be able to engage all persons. If you realize, Ghana's most beautiful is widely watched all over. A lot of people enjoy it. And so we have chosen her as an ambassador. She is one of the most influential young persons in Ghana today, and we are happy to have her launch the Ghana Youth Manifesto. With a round of applause, please let us welcome her.
Thank you very much. I didn't realize how tall I am. I truly am tall. I'm Payapam, and every time I hear these appellations, they remind me that I'm not royal just because I won Ghana's most beautiful, but I am truly royal, just in case you didn't know. And I'm so humbled every time I hear the rhythms of these sounds. They continuously remind me of who I am and where I proudly hail from. Madam Chair, all protocol observed. Today marks an important day in our lives as young Ghanaians, striving to chart a future for ourselves and our homeland, Ghana. So far, the rhetoric has been that young people between the ages of 15 and 35 constitute the majority of the Ghanaian population. Youth unemployment is on the rise. Currently at 25% of Ghanaian youth are not employed, not in education, and not in training, which means most of us are idle. More young people are in school than ever, but the standards and quality of education is falling. Currently, there are reports of young people from all sectors leaving the country in droves due to limited opportunities. Young people are not represented in decision-making processes at all levels. Indeed, young people are used to perpetrate violence rather than foment peace. Young people with disabilities bear a double brand of the challenges of the ordinary young Ghanaian. The health of young people in this country is jeopardized due to malfunctioning NHIS, that's the National Health Insurance Scheme, and the high cost of healthcare in Ghana. Governments over the years have paid lip service to the challenges of young people without a comprehensive approach to addressing the challenges of young people in Ghana. Ghana is currently implementing its second national youth policy, which has inspired the development of our manifesto. We are fully aware that the first policy did not come with an action plan, and we are determined to ensure the implementation of this current policy. Madam Chair, for the upcoming election in 2024, our manifesto for the 2024 election and beyond is a result of engagement of over 3,500 young people across the 16 regions of Ghana. It captures the expectations, hopes, and aspirations of young people with a call for action that is expected to change the plight of young people at least between 2024 and 2028. It captures the patriotic young people for the first 100 days of the next government, irrespective of which political party wins. So as you can see, we are not, communicating to just one political party, be it the NPP, the NDC, whichever party wins, CPP, PPP, Tunte Adahamani party, whichever party wins. Please, we are calling out to all of you. Our priority is the abolition of all taxes on sanitary products. We are aware of recent developments on this issue. We welcome the idea of growing the Ghanaian sanitary industry. However, young people insist that first, the government must declassify sanitary products as luxury products and remove all taxes. I mean, why should we be taxed for having something very natural and normal? We don't choose to have our menses, they just come. We shouldn't be taxed for it. This is the voice of the majority of Ghanaian youth. This is what the youth are saying. We don't choose to menstruate. So please, with all due respect and humility, those taxes should be taken off completely. Our second priority is the appointment of at least 2 qualified young ministers between the ages of 18 to 35. Young Ghanaians want the funding of the National Cathedral to be channeled into youth resource centers and other development priorities. So I watched a very funny video some weeks ago where a young man was asked why he wasn't in church on Sunday, and his answer was that they are building his church. It's not completed. The National Cathedral is not completed, and that is why he's not in church yet. And I think that it was really a funny one. And so a lot of the youth are saying that the government should channel more of the funds, to building youth resource centers and other development priorities. Fight corruption, change and jail corrupt public and government officials. We also call for the abolishment of the e-levy tax, which is further impoverishing young people. Young people are really crying about the e-levy, the fact that I have to pay, a levy on the small coins that I have. We'll be very, very glad. We know that the government have always had us at heart, and whatever policies that they are bringing out are geared towards, the development of all of us. But we are also pleading that with some of the policies like the e-levy, they should, take it easy on us. We, the young ones, are suffering. Everywhere you go, we keep saying that the country is a bit, tough for almost everyone, and would be so happy if e-levy is abolished. Further impoverishment of young people is caused by e-levy, and we'll be glad if it is taken off. Madam Chair, our manifesto also contains the call to action on 5 other youth priorities, including education, health, and sexual reproductive rights, governance, youth with disability, and youth peace and security. As we call for political parties, government, and all key stakeholders to bear our voices and heed to our call, we also pledge to promote peace in the upcoming elections, educate and sensitize young people to conduct themselves peacefully, irrespective of the political party they support and promote. An issue-based electoral season rather than violence. We call on all stakeholders here to support us to engage young people and political parties with our manifesto for peaceful election. As a youth leader and brand influencer, I'm very happy to be part of this very, very important initiative to promote peace, stability, and development. And so with all this being said, I therefore feel very, very honored to launch the Ghana's Youth Manifesto for elections in 2024 and beyond.
Thank you very much. And on that note, the Ghana Youth Manifesto has been officially launched. A round of applause. We have the manifesto here for those here to see it. And I'm pretty sure copies will be sent around. We also have soft copies. Thank you. We're trying to go green, no? Great. And I know all of us have phones here. Wonderful. And so we will invite the Ghana Youth Manifesto, we call them GYM, core group reps, to lead us in manifesto policy declarations and call to action. So the GYM core group reps, led by Christopher and all of you, we invite you here. So please come up and let's do that. Thank you. You're not, actually, Christopher is not even a core group rep member. He's just the coordinator. So, GTV, okay.
So we have a number of thematic areas that the Youth Manifesto focuses on, and we have almost about 7. taking it from the youth priorities. Then we have the education and learning for sustainable work. We also have the youth employment. We also have good governance, justice, and accountability. We have sexual and reproductive health right. We have youth peace and security. And then finally, we have the youth priority areas. So basically, we have quality education as well, which is the very fundamental one. So my colleagues will be reading the call to action to us, and then I think we'll take it from there. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So my name is Abdul Latif Abdurrahman. I am part of the core team members for this particular document that we are launching today. So I'll be giving the call to action on the youth priority areas, especially for that of the first 100 days in governance for any party that will come into power. So first of all, we are saying we want to see a scrap in all forms of taxes on sanitary pads. That is, we the youth hold the view that a tax imposed on sanitary pads is a tax imposed on biological necessity that women and young girls have no control over, thereby making sanitary pads unaffordable and inaccessible, especially to low-income households. This further deepens the already social economic inequalities women and young girls face in our societies. We also want to see appointment of at least 2 qualified young people between the ages of 18 to 35 as ministers. Also, we want to see the appointment of qualified young persons between the ages of 18 to 35 to the National Youth Authority Board. We also want to see a commitment in the separation of the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Youth from the Ministry of that of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Commit to put a stop to the National Cathedral and channel the money to the youth resource centers that our CEO mentioned. We also want to see a commitment to the abolishment of the e-levy tax on Momo wallets. As well, we want to see the commitment to organize a referendum on the review of the Constitution that we have been yearning for. Also, we want to see a surcharge corruption on government officials and also the public officials that especially indulge in corruption and corruption-related activities. And finally, we want to see a continuation of projects of previous governments. So MPP government is in power. When any party comes into power, or even if the party maintains the power, we want to see a continuation of the projects that have been in existence instead of starting projects all over. So this is what we have in the youth priority areas. My colleagues will continue with other priority areas that we have. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Raha Zakaria, a member of the Northern Regional Youth Network. According to the Ghana Youth Manifesto and the survey which was conducted across Ghana, 36% of those who responded said that felt that education or access to basic education is either poor or very poor. This is to say that education is one of the key areas that government should pay attention to. Now, the call to action in terms of providing access to education to all. 1, review the free SHS policy to target needy students. The policy should be equity-oriented as indicated by the 67% of the Ghana Youth Manifesto survey respondents. 2, increase budgetary allocation to TVET, clearly indicate budget and expenditure for TVET schools. 3, establish modern TVET institutions across the country as indicated by 61% of the Ghana Youth Manifesto survey respondents. 4, increase training for TVET instructors. Thank you.
Good morning or afternoon. So my name is Anthony Cade and I am speaking on youth peace and security. I'm very fascinated about youth peace and security because I always say in the absence of peace and security, we wouldn't even be gathered here in the first place. So fortunately for us, Ghana has enjoyed some relative peace over the years, but there are still challenges. And in light of that, we have some recommendations or call to action. And if you permit me, we'll kindly go through. We have 6 recommendations. The first one is to establish an independent appointment commission to depoliticize the appointment of executive members and heads of security agencies. That's our first call to action. The second one has to do with the National Peace Council, the National Commission for Civic Education, and other related agencies must increase public education on peace and security, not only on election days or seasons, but then it should be a continuous process. Our third recommendation, the youth must be represented on boards of the state peace and security institutions. And further, the peace and security related institutions must train and mentor young people to be peace ambassadors, and also uphold good governance and accountability by empowering the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate and prosecute corruption and corruption-related acts of public office holders. And finally, develop a national action plan for United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, hello. I'm Dorcas Afuntin-Crine, and I'll be taking that for good governance, justice, and accountability. So our first call to action is to review the 1992 Constitution. A resounding 72% of young Ghanaians surveyed call for a review of the 1992 Constitution. This review should address youth political participation and facilitate their effective engagement in governance, both at the national and local levels. It should also tackle the issue of ex gratia and Article 71 office holders. Secondly, we must intentionally promote youth representation in parliament and other decision-making bodies through dedicated quotas. The Affirmative Action Bill passed as early as possible. Fund political parties to promote inclusivity for all. Promote accountability and check corruption, bribery, and both internal and external election interference. Reduce campaign and filing fees to create opportunities for young aspirants. Appoint young persons below the age of 35 to head the NYA, to the board of NYA, Ministry of Youth, and other ministerial positions and state agencies. And lastly, develop engaging educational programs to raise awareness about the political processes and political leadership. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Farid Gombela. I'm here to speak on the call to action for youth with disability. Now, Ghana having ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability in 2012, and also co-hosting the Global Disability Summit in 2022, clearly recognizes the strides persons with disability have made in Ghana, as well as the challenges persons with disability continue to face in this country. And so we at the Ghana Youth Manifesto have identified 5 call to actions we want to put across today. Now, the first thing is we are calling for inclusive infrastructural development. Now, what does that mean? We want a situation where a comprehensive disability-friendly framework is developed for physical access to various public infrastructures in our country. So access to hospitals, to educational facilities, etc., should be more inclusive and take away all the physical barriers that prevent persons with disability from accessing our various public spaces. The second thing is we are calling for inclusive or a tailored technical and vocational educational training programs for persons with disabilities. So we talk a lot about TVET, but what we forget is persons with disability also can be included within the TVET space once the technical and vocational training programs are made more inclusive. Now, this means that there should be collaborations between the various organizations of persons with disability, together with the industry leaders, to develop standardized curriculum that meets industry standards, but also satisfies the needs of the unique needs of persons with disability as well. Now, the third call to action is developing inclusive employment policies. Now, for persons with disabilities, not everyone who can be an entrepreneur. We also need others who would be engaged in formal employment. Now, what we are calling for is inclusive policies that create the opportunity for persons with disability to work in various organizations, equipping them with various, employments or employability skills that builds their capacity and, takes them away from, having to resort to others for their daily survival. Now, the fourth point or the fourth call to action is implementing disability-related policies. We talk a lot about the Disability Act, the Act 715, which has recently been, reintroduced or is in the process of being reintroduced, having, been in the system for about 10 years now and not implemented. What we are saying is, in order to ensure a more inclusive society, policies such as the Disability Act, the UN Sustainable Goals, and the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability should be reviewed to ensure that any gaps that exist are adequately addressed and implemented to the latter so that we can take away all the challenges. Now, the final call to action is for an audit, or we are calling for an audit into the District Assembly Common Fund, particularly the allocation that goes to persons with disability. Yes, government would say the government has done well by increasing that percentage to about 3%. However, some of these resources are not very much aligned to the needs of persons with disability. How are they being dispersed? How are these resources being allocated? These are the things we are calling for. A comprehensive audit that ensures that the process of dispersing funds under the District Assembly Common Fund for persons with disability is properly streamlined to ensure that the right people get the resources and persons with disability can, at the end of the day, get the support they need. In all, what we are calling for is a world where, or as a Ghana where persons with disability are adequately included in our society, and we champion that mantra, leave no one behind. It doesn't become just a mantra, but it becomes a statement of force backed by evidence or backed by things we are doing in the country. Thank you very much.
Madam Chairperson, Youth Employment and Wealth Creation. Almost 38% of Ghana's population is made up of the youth. Yet the high unemployment rate undermines the potential contribution to the nation. Recent statistic by the Ghana Statistical Service revealed that 21% of the Ghanaian youth were not in employment, education, or training need in the second quarter of 2023. This alarming figure means a large segment of the population is not actively engaged in employment or training, impairing both personal growth and the nation's economic success. The consequences of the growing needs statistic are profound. Young people who are needs may face challenges like financial instabilities, which will inevitably impact their well-being and cause individual hardship. On a large scale, this poses risks of increased poverty, elevated crime rate, and economic stagnation, compromising the nation's developmental trajectory. The repercussions could be felt across all sectors, impeding progress and hindering the flourishing of our nation. When asked which sector holds the highest promise for young people in terms of job creation, agriculture came top with 34%, followed by ICT with 23%, which means that the youth of this nation believes that agriculture could be a way for them to have jobs. So government, individuals, and organizations interested in youth development should take interest in giving policies that will favor the youth to venture more into agriculture. So based on this, we came out with certain call to actions that we believe that needs to be implemented going forward. One, roll out special employment programs in agriculture and ICT. Two, increase promotion of technical and vocational education and training. Three, provide job search and employment support to job seekers. Five, support startups and small businesses to nurture entrepreneurs and provide support. Six, facilitate access to funding for emerging enterprises. And finally, seven, establish a social protection program that targets unemployed youth. Thank you very much.
Okay, finally, we've all heard about education, good governance, and the rest. But above all, or in all this, the most important thing is our health. Ladies and gentlemen, when we asked the youth, when we went out there to collect the data, we asked the youth this very question: how do you address the sexual reproductive health rights challenge here in Ghana? And 48% of respondents called for increased awareness of sexual reproductive health rights, education, and information. Ladies and gentlemen, the youth said, reduce the cost of contraceptives. They are very expensive, so we don't get to buy them or use them. So indirectly, teenage pregnancy is at a rise here in Ghana when you go to some of the regions, especially with Ashanti region. So various political parties here, to whoever wins the upcoming election, we the youth of Ghana say reduce the cost of contraceptives. The second one is incorporate reproductive health education into education curriculum. So we've realized, even though it has been incorporated, it's not that intense, and we need to do more. We can do more. We can help educate our younger ones. The third one is to promote the role of parents in reproductive health education. Most of our parents are naive about this. In the olden days, we had a lot of adverts on the TV educating us on abstinence. But yet still, looking at now, we rather have a lot of adverts on alcohol and a lot of unnecessary things on the TV. So all these things can help educate both the children or the youths and the parents. The next one is increase education on sexual reproductive health rights to raise awareness and create a more informed public. So we can use the various media. So friends of the media, please, when we come around to engage you, or we want airtime to talk about these issues, kindly give us the chance to do it. The next one is increase educational campaigns on contraceptives, STIs, and sexual-based violence. Finally, incorporate sexual reproductive health rights into education curriculum. So you could see in all this, it all boils down on education, campaign, advocacy.
So this is it, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you very much to the core team. Thank you very much for informing us of your recommendations via call to actions. And so we are grateful. Now, we actually have representatives from the National Peace Council here. And so we would also want to acknowledge their presence from the National Peace Council. Thank you very much. Remarks? Okay, great. So we would invite a representative from the National Peace Council to give their remark. Thank you very much. Please, a bigger round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think I'm a bit taller. Okay. So I would like to stand on the existing protocols and convey my greetings to everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today with a sense of regret and sincere apology for the absence of our Executive Secretary, Mr. George Amon, at this pivotal event. His absence is not a reflection of the importance he places on this gathering, but rather an unavoidable commitment demanding his attention at an equally significant meeting, one that could not be deferred at all. In his stead, he sent for two capable managers to represent him and convey our collective enthusiasm for this initiative. The National Peace Council is with immense pleasure and enthusiasm that we participate in the launch of the Ghana Youth Manifesto for the 2024 elections and beyond. This endeavor resonates deeply with our core objective as a state institution mandated to foster and uphold peace within Ghana. The alignment of this initiative goes with our mission to ensure peace in our nation, reaffirms the importance of our presence and collaboration in forums such as this. Allow me to underscore a fundamental truth. Securing peace in our country is a shared responsibility. It requires a collective effort and the active participation of our youth stands as a critical pillar in this endeavor. Their involvement is merely desired. It is indispensable for the success and sustainability of our mission. The Ghana Youth Manifesto represents a collective articulation, a chorus of aspiration, needs, and concerns. Echoing from the heart of young Ghanaians, it outlines a roadmap toward a more inclusive, equitable, and prosperous nation. This stands as a testament to the power of collaboration as it consolidates the voices of diverse youth organizations, groups, networks, and associations across our nation. The very essence of democracy is enriched when our youth actively engage in the electoral processes. Their participation does not just shape the future, it defines, it breathes life into our democracy, infusing it with fresh perspective, innovative ideas, and vision that echoes the hopes of generations to come. As the National Peace Council, We wholeheartedly pledge our support and commitment to the objectives outlined in the Ghana Youth Manifesto. We acknowledge the vital role youth participation plays in promoting peace within the electoral processes, and we affirm our dedication to collaborating with all stakeholders to ensure its effective implementation. To the Ghana Youth Manifesto core team, consortium of youth-focused CSOs and all young Ghanaians who have contributed their thoughts and aspirations to this initiative, we extend our heartfelt appreciation. Your dedication and commitment to building a brighter future for our nation through active participation and constructive engagement are truly commendable. In conclusion, I express our gratitude for the invitation extended to our Executive Secretary and convey our sincere regrets for his absence again. We assure you of our unwavering commitment and active involvement in furthering the objectives of the Ghana Youth Manifesto. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It seems Tuntea knows the secret to stopping them. I kept saying thank you very much. They didn't mind me. Okay. You know now money talks. Now when they say it, you need to know. So according to our program, we have 8 minutes to close, but let us be reminded that our chair gave us 15 minutes. So we started at 10:15 a.m. So I think it's only right that we end by 12:45 instead of 12:30. But we will be as snappy as possible. I think even by 12:30 we'll be done, but I'm just giving us some time. So our keynote speaker is finally here. And so I would like to invite him to give a remark. He is a broadcast journalist and also the general manager at CTFM, one of Ghana's most influential radio stations. He's also a member of the governing council of the Global Marketing Network in Ghana. And I would like to invite Mr. Bernard Avle to give a brief remark. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the opportunity. First, I want to apologize for coming in late. Is this the mic? For coming in late? Or this one? All right. I want to apologize for coming in late. Pius, good to see you. Distinguished guests, young people of Ghana, good afternoon. Are you ready to take on the world? Yes. Are you excited? Do you know this is your time? Well, I've been in media for over 20 years, and this is the first time I'm seeing something like this. So I think you should put your hands together for yourselves. In the line of work I do, we see a lot of complaint about bad people coming together to do bad things. And we don't emphasize enough good people coming together. And I think when we look at the various partners who've come together to put together a youth manifesto, I think it's progress. So let's put hands together for the partners. The youth manifesto is the beginning of many things. People sense that young people's time has come and everybody wants to usurp that. So first thing I want to say to youth is that don't be a tool for somebody's agenda. You define your own agenda because the future is for you. I'm 42 years old. I will not be here in 100 years. A lot of you will still be here, hopefully, even in 50 years. So don't let the political parties define what the election is about. You define it. This is what you've just done. You decide what we will vote for. So that's point number one. You set the agenda. Don't work for somebody's agenda. Number two, get involved. All right. I voted a couple of days ago, local assembly elections. You have to organize around what you believe in. So don't just complain. Get into the assembly and get involved. All right? Organize people around things that matter. So the manifesto that we've put out is not just for the newspapers to cover it. Now you need to engage at the local community to make sure that people understand what our priorities are. And these priorities may not be the same for all local communities because all politics is local. So we're going to promise ourselves that we are getting involved in local politics, not necessarily to be voted for, but to understand the process. You cannot influence what you don't understand. Am I making sense? So the idea that social media is just for football and new dresses and food is over. Use it to inform yourself. Are you following me? This idea that we don't listen to the radio, we don't read newspapers, we are not interested in politics is an outmoded idea. If we are going to seize the future, we have to understand what's happening in our society. So young people of Ghana, get informed. So the first one is get involved, but you can't get involved effectively if you are not informed. What do you need to get informed about? You need to get informed about our journey as a country. We need to understand our history, where we've come from. This is our fourth republic. We need to understand what that means. This is the longest republic that has survived. Nkrumah's first republic didn't survive. Second republic was even shorter. Third republic was very short. This is the longest surviving arrangement for democracy since 1993. So it's 30 years old. So technically, our democracy is a youth, right? That means that democracy is you because I'm older than our democracy. I'm 42. Our democracy is 30. That means that it has space to improve. But that also means that you belong in there. So let's get informed about our past. The things that young people did which were wrong, we don't have to repeat them. But the examples of people who have done good things that we have to follow. Am I making sense? So a friend of mine made something about our past. History is very conflictual and history is very controversial. But he says that I will not face my past because that is not where I'm going. But I will not go to my future without it. So you need to understand the journey. For example, when I was your age, the media wasn't that free. Now we have lots of media houses. Use it to your advantage. There are lots of media platforms that you can engage. There are young youth programs. You can even go on the main programs too, right? The first time I voted was in the year 2000. There were only about, 15 radio stations. Now there are like 500. So you belong. Get involved, get informed, and get on the platforms. Organize young people around ideas. All right. Number 3, know your country. We can't sit in Accra and influence Ghana. Vacation, go to the community, go and teach people. In the past 3 months, we've been doing relief in the Volta region. Almost every 2 weeks, I'm in the region, meeting people on how to help them to rebuild their lives. That's how you know a country. You don't know a country by just watching television or sitting on social media alone. You know a country. So vacation, organize yourselves, go and teach in a community. Go and understand what teenagers, young girls in rural communities go through when they have their monthly cycle. Understand organically the problems of the country. So when people come to you to say vote for them, you know what the problem is. Do you get what I'm saying? So the days of just docile vote, I'm going to sleep, those days are over. This is the time for young people to rise. And this youth manifesto is the platform we've been given. So now you can question duty bearers on the basis of ideas that we've all agreed on. It's very powerful. Am I making sense? So let's get involved in the development of the country. Volunteer, learn how to volunteer. Last week they did a bar camp. Young people are doing great things. I have a friend who organizes people to go and teach in rural communities every vacation, and they're doing it consistently. That's how you grow a country. A country doesn't change by a few people doing big things. A country changes when a lot of people do a lot of little things repeatedly. That's how a country changes. So a country doesn't get big because Kwame Nkrumah built Akosombo Dam alone, or he gave us Temahaba or whatever. That too, but there were people around who are not named who contributed to that effort. So you are a legitimate part of the nation's development. That does not mean the leaders are not responsible if things go wrong, but you have agency. You don't need permission to come to the table. This is your time. You have a bigger stake in Ghana than anybody on any ballot box. Because in the 70 years, most of them will be dead, but you will still be here. Am I making sense? So I just came to encourage you guys. All right. Final thing, learn to give back. The secondary schools, they need you. Those of us who are in universities, I went to my secondary school last 3 weeks to do mentorship. There, when I was in pre-sec, we were 413 in Form 3. Now there are almost 1,900. You can go to the school and not know your mates. It's a challenge of our time. If you can go and speak to Form 2 boys and girls about career planning, how to organize their life. That's part of leadership. We went there in the morning, we couldn't finish. The students were talking to us because there are just too many. There's just one counselor for the school. And there are 5,400 students. That's the reality of our time. So those of us in the universities, we have to go back and help. If the mindset of the next generation is right, the country will be saved. If their mindset is wrong, the country will be destroyed. So it's not just gold and silver and cocoa. The resource is the way the people think. And if you can shape that, what I do on the radio is I try and shape that. Letting them understand that we have a role to play in our future. Am I making sense? I have only 6 minutes, so I have to stop here. But I came to encourage you to get involved, and give back. If we do that, it will not be long before Ghana will begin to see the development we want. I thank all of you. Have a good morning.
Thank you very much, Bernard. He actually was very busy, and so we are very grateful that he has been able to take time off his busy schedule to come here. He was doing morning show, and that's why he's late. Thank you for reminding us that we are a legitimate part of the nation's development. And if there's someone that I know is an active citizen using his platform as a media personality to educate and to advocate, is Bernard. And so, Bernard, we are happy to have you as our keynote speaker. Thank you. And so we have finally come to the end of our event, our launch, and we have entered into the closing. And we would take a closing remark from one of our supporting partners. If you look on the flyers, you see ActionAid there. And so a representative from ActionAid will be giving us her closing remarks. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Distinguished persons, I greet you all. My name is Dorcas Yobo. I'm coming from ActionAid Ghana. I bring you greetings from our country director, John Nquo. I think it's really been insightful and an honor to be part of the development of the Ghana Youth Manifesto. It was really great rubbing minds with all these partners that we have on board. I just want to conclude by saying that the realization of the Ghana Youth Manifesto that has really been developed really greatly depends on our ability to really have the political will, to implement or to be vocal about all the issues that has been presented here. Just a few months ago, ActionAid Ghana launched its country strategic paper. And when you zoom into our strategic priority 3, we are very, very vocal on active citizenship. This means that I think we've all spoken about it. It's all about us not being passive. And it also has to do a lot with when it comes to resource allocation, resource allocation, especially in public services, is it evenly and fairly distributed? When it comes to structures or spaces available for you to actually discuss and champion issues that really affect us, do we have the ability to create those spaces? So I think all this is what we'll be looking at in the next 10 years. We'll be working together. We specifically run the youth, the global platform, which is we're part of a global alliance of 32 other platforms around the world. We have Denmark, we have Kenya, we have Nigeria, and we intend bringing together activists from different countries to come together to talk about and even join us on campaigns. How are we helping the ordinary citizen to even understand how our structures or our systems actually work, just like our previous speaker mentioned. And I think it's really going to be exciting, even in terms of the medium-term development plan. How can we work with, duty bearers and other persons from the local, at the local government level to ensure that it's being implemented. I think to summarize, will not be soft when it comes to tracking accountability, holding duty bearers accountable. So this is really a good initiative, and we really look forward to results in the subsequent years. And please, do not be gentle. Grow the political parties that come into your communities. Ask them questions. If you can't, contact us. We'll tell you how to ask the questions and how to, get them to give you answers. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dorcas from Action Aid. And now we'll receive closing remarks from our chair. Please let us welcome her with a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we should give ourselves a round of applause. At least we didn't start early, but we've been able to be within the time. And thank you to all those who came on time too. And those who couldn't, next time, please try and come on time. So I think you all agree with me that the program has been very educative, very interactive, and moreover, very successful. And we give glory to the Almighty God. And for my closing remark, you all agree with me again that the process from what has happened, we said the process was a youth-led process, and the youth, both persons with disability, normal persons without disability, and then old and young were all involved in the process, because the older ones gave you the guidance, the youth, and we are happy to have this report today. Also, we all came to a conclusion that it's a good tool for engagement. It's a good tool for engagement. So this was a very, very good exercise. And we also realized that we shouldn't just be youth demanding for our rights, but we should also demonstrate what we can do for our country. We should also demonstrate what we can do for our country. And also, governments have a lot of programs for the youth. As I was saying in my opening remarks, let us be informed. Let us be informed and inform others about what is happening. And that shouldn't be just the youth in Accra. We should go to the rural communities, as the keynote speaker said. Let people know there are opportunities available, because there are a lot of opportunities available for the youth at your time that you can take advantage of. So let's try to do that. We've also had our development partners, especially UNDP. They are ready to support youth programs. And most of their programs, I've worked with them for over 10 years. Most of their programs are youth-led. So let's engage and get more information. To conclude, I would like to say that we are the change makers. We, the youth, are the change makers. Let's take this manifesto. Let's run with it. Let's trumpet it everywhere you go. Anybody who is talking to you, some of the prayer lines that we have, they say when somebody greets you, they give you a term, say God is good. So when somebody is talking to you, say Youth Manifesto. This is what is in the Youth Manifesto. Any engagement that you have, let them know that there's a Youth Manifesto, because we are the majority. Now we have to classify some of us that we are calling ourselves youth. We are above 40, so a CEO, the youth, it won't end at 40. It will go to 45 or even 50. So anywhere that we are, so we are almost about more than half of the population. Let's trumpet it. Youth, we have a youth manifesto everywhere you go. Let people know. And then let's also own it. Let's own it, and let's make sure that we trumpet the youth manifesto, and let's hold duty bearers accountable, whilst also delivering the services that we have to make sure that we pull Ghana along. And on this note, I promise myself that everywhere I go, I'll let us sing the national youth anthem. Because if we sing the national youth anthem and we listen to the words of the national youth anthem, in about 10 years, 20 years, we will see this country being on a level that we want, because you are the leaders for the next generation. So let's sing the youth anthem and let's listen to the words of the youth anthem. So the CEO is here, he's the owner of the youth anthem. So please, can you lead us to sing the youth anthem? Because this is a youth gathering. So please, can we be upstanding?
Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved in building our motherland. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. Thank you.
Please, let's clap ourselves. Thank you very much. We are all involved in building our motherland. Thank you for those wonderful closing remarks. Yes, and so we will definitely consider 45, but I don't think 50 is youth enough. Please, thank you. Okay, so now we call on Florence Ajiman, core group member who also doubles as the Vice President of INYOG, to give the vote of thanks. Please let us welcome her with a round of applause.
Honorable Chair and Special Representative of the Minister of Youth and Sports, the CEO of National Youth Authority, UN Special Representative, distinguished speakers, guests, youths, esteemed members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we thank God for empowering us and for this successful activity. I rise today with immense gratitude and deep admiration to express my heartfelt thanks to the entire core team and to everyone involved in the successful launch of the Ghana Youth Manifesto. The momentous occasion does not only mark a significant milestone in our collective journey towards empowering and engaging the Ghanaian youth, but also serves as a testament to the power of collaboration, dedication, and commitment. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our honorable guest speakers, whose insightful and thought-provoking words have not only inspired us, but have also ignited the flames of hope within each and every one of us here. Your presence here today has been instrumental in emulating the path towards a brighter future for the youth of Ghana. Our deepest gratitude is also extended to the organizing committee and the team behind the remarkable initiative. Their tireless efforts in planning and the attention to details have undoubtedly contributed to the flawless execution of this event. Through your dedication and hard work, you have created a platform where the concerns, aspirations, and innovative ideas of the Ghanaian youth can truly be heard. We are grateful to all the stakeholders and partners who have generously supported the Ghana Youth Manifesto. Your unwavering belief in the potential of the youth and your commitment to investing in their future is truly commendable. Your contributions have not only made this event possible, but have also paved the way for the tangible actions and meaningful change. To the vibrant and passionate youths of Ghana, your presence and active participation in this event have truly been the driving force behind its success. Your enthusiasm, determination, and desire to shape a better future for Ghana have served as an inspiration to us all. I have full faith in your potential to bring about transformative change, and I urge you to continue raising your voices. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to the youth here. Youth, are you here? Yes. Oh, are you here? Yes. The room is too down. Cho boy. Yes. So I urge you to continue raising your voices, demanding your rights, and actively participating in shaping the destiny of our beloved nation. Last but not the least, I express my deepest appreciation to all distinguished guests, the members of the media, and attendees who have joined us today. Your presence here does not only underscore the significance of this event, but also exemplifies your commitment towards championing the cause of the Ghanaian youth. Your support and encouragement are vital in ensuring that the Ghana Youth Manifesto becomes more than just words on paper, but translates into concrete actions that positively impact the lives of our youth. In conclusion, as we reflect on the launch of the Ghana Youth Manifesto, let us remember that this is just not the beginning of the long and arduous journey. However, with a collective determination and confidence that we pave or showcase here today. Yes, I'm going to. I will say thank you once again for your support, and let us march forward together towards a better tomorrow. God bless Ghana. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Florence. And so I echo her thanks to all the participants here, to our dignitaries, and especially to those online. We thank you for joining us in the launch of the Ghana Youth Manifesto. An applause, please. A bigger one, please. Thank you. And we have finally come to the end of the program. I am Dorothy Barnes, and I've been your moderator for today. Now we'll be taking a group photo. So we will all come up here and we will take a group photo. And then at the end, all participants, please use the back door and go out for us. You will be given some lunch and some refreshments. Thank you. So please, let's come up. Let's come up, please, for the group photo. Just as quickly as possible. Yes, exactly. So, Let's just do that. So what will happen? Please, Anthony, I beg you, just up front on that. Is it to block it? No. The cards. Hold the cards. I need some people to hold the cards. So you can move the cards. Please, fast. We'll be holding some of the cards down there, so no problem. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, my queen. Thank you for coming. Auntie Francisca, thank you. I believe some people can also come and talk. Yeah. The people holding the placard can come and talk. Yes. This guy is a photographer. How do we do this thing? I don't know this technical thing. You should be on top. How should I do it? Praise. Thank you. Oh, and I'm so sorry. Yeah. So fast. We do this, and we'll be out of it. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Lucy. Thank you. We are done. Please, you can. Those of you holding the books, you can hold the books. Thank you. Those with the placards, very good. Ima, is that okay? Great. Yes. Too many people are on this side. I would love some of you to. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can cut it off. I think we're good. Huh? Are you? Book. Okay. Yeah. So those who don't have it can hold it. Exactly. Thank you. Auntie, you want a book? Okay. Why they're hiding so much from me? I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. Great. We are ready now. A smile, then a chant. So the smile face. A big wide smile. You can say Banshee. Yes. Great. A big wide smile. Okay. Now some action. Either we say arise, Ghana youth. I like that. So on go, arise Ghana youth. Again, arise Ghana youth. Did we capture that? Again, arise Ghana youth. Okay. For change. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. To all our participants, please use the back door. The back door to all participants. The dignitaries can use the front door. Thank you all for coming. To all our online participants, we say thank you. Okay, thank you. So please, the back door, please. The back door, please. Please, the back door. Kindly use the back door for us. Thank you. Let's